Well, hello to the Trinity Church family. We're really glad that you could join with us for this midweek interview. We're hoping to do a number of these over the weeks ahead. Probably what you're doing is you're ringing people and you're texting people and you're keeping in contact, maybe through Zoom meetings and other things. You're keeping in contact with people that you know, but you won't be keeping in contact with everyone. And so we're hoping to do just a number of interviews over the weeks ahead, and you might hear from other people in regards to how life is going and how church is going and what impact the isolation has had on their lives and so forth. So that's what we're hoping to do, and this is the first one, and we're interviewing Millie King. So hello, Millie, how are you going?
Hi, well, thanks, Ross.
Thank you for volunteering to be a part of this interview.
Welcome.
So, Millie, why don't you tell us what has it meant for your family in regards to being isolated, being at home? So, three young children, one young husband. What's it meant for you guys?
Yeah, look, it's actually been a fairly nice time for our family, and I know that that's not everyone's situation. We have really loved just having Rory home from school and just having our family together. So we've enjoyed lots of family time, lots of just activities together, and being in the same space. Another positive for us is that life often feels really, really busy and like we're just running from one thing to the next. So it's been nice just to stop and be still and know that we don't have to be out the door at a particular time, and just to be flexible with that. So that's been really nice.
How's Rory found school? Because is he in kindergarten or year one?
Yeah. So he just started kindy this year. He probably hasn't made connections well enough because he's only done a term of school so far to miss his friends too much. But yeah, he's really enjoying the online platform to do his schooling. In the beginning, I got told that I couldn't be his teacher. Mr. Missikos is his teacher, and no, mummy, I can't do it for you. And so we re-navigated that. And he really enjoys doing his work at school, although that's really tricky for us because Lucy's 3 and she wants attention and she wants to be playing games and to be outside, and Elsie's screaming at me and due for her sleeps, and sometimes it all gets a bit crazy, so we just have to fumble through the best we can in doing that, but it's been all right.
Yeah. What's it meant? So you're a nurse, and you've changed jobs, and you might want to tell us about what that involves. But you were an ICU nurse. Then with the coronavirus coming in, I think you went back to you got another job involving students. You've gone back to the ICU job just in the interim, and then now back to helping students. Tell us what you're doing, number one, and two, tell us what's the feeling up at the hospital.
So what I've been doing since I went back from maternity leave is being part-time in intensive care, not very much anymore, but mostly my job is to support students from Armidale and Newcastle universities while they're on placement. And so that's been tricky. I've been learning that job and having cancelled placements and then having to reshuffle students into the wards available, and that's been quite challenging, but really lovely as well. It's been, just lovely working with those students. The ICU staff and the education staff that I work quite closely with, there's just a really high level of anxiety, and I think that just surrounds the fact that we don't know what's about to happen. We didn't know from all of the news and media and stuff we'd heard from overseas, we didn't know how the coronavirus was going to translate in Australia. So we've got so many things in place, and intensive care particularly, we've got lots of strategies and plans in place for what could happen. So staff are just, I guess, they feel like they're walking on eggshells, even though actually the wards are quite quiet at the moment. So it's been an interesting dynamic at work.
Yeah, it's remarkable, hasn't it, in Australia, the way in which through government intervention and through other things that have happened, the way in which the curve has been flattened, as we're told. And I imagine that before all this, that lots of staff and maybe even yourself were quite anxious about what it would mean, especially when we saw stuff from Europe and what was happening for nurses and doctors in those countries. I can understand the anxiety.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when people don't have their hope in anything other than what they see here and now, they just can't fathom how this kind of stuff happens in the world. They can't make sense of it when they don't know who God is and don't have their trust in him. What do you lean on? Because everything else seems like it can be just taken away so quickly.
Do you wonder if after this has all passed, if there might be new opportunities for evangelism for us as a church? I mean, obviously at the moment we're really struggling to be able to evangelise because we've got to distance ourselves. But do you think maybe as a result of this there might be people asking big questions, or will we just go back to, the same old things?
Yeah, I guess it's tricky to say. I mean, often in the midst of hard things like this, people can be asking big questions about, well, where is God? Why is this kind of stuff happening? And so I think that idea of life being so fleeting and the way it can be taken away so quickly, that mixed with just people's relationships being changed, just not having those personal conversations with people and having company. I think that people, I do pray that people will be more open to talking about who God is and the idea that this world just isn't it. And there's so much more, and you know that once you, dig into understanding who Jesus is.
Yeah, well, one of our prayers here is that there'll be new opportunities like never before. But anyway, we'll hopefully grab hold of those as they come. Let me keep. What else have I got to ask you here? Well, I sort of jumped in a bit when I was asking you about your family. We spoke a little bit about school life with Rory. Church, what are you doing for church? How are you doing church?
Yeah, so church, we say it, it's Sunday church on the TV time, and the kids really love that. They love, just seeing who's going to be up the front. They often say, I think it's going to be Ross. I think it's going to be Warwick. It's John. So they get quite excited. We do a bit of a similar routine here as we would at church. With small kids, it's quite tricky, full stop, I guess. But I just sit them on the lounge with their morning tea. They've had lots of playtime beforehand, so they know that that's quiet time. They've got books on either side of them that they can read, throughout it. Rory, being a little bit older, he's been picking up on sort of some key words or things that are mentioned during sermons, so that's been lovely to see. And it has meant for us that Elsie can have her morning sleep. So, she's often in bed at that time and we can sit on the lounge. I think something that was really great was that for the Easter Easter sermon, my dad came and actually watched that with us, just obviously on a separate couch. But, coming to church would probably be pretty confronting from his perspective. So it was really nice that he could actually hear a message about who Jesus is. So that was really great. So we've been enjoying it.
That's lovely news to hear that. Tell me, okay, this is confession time. Is David in his pajamas during church?
He's not. So he's been going to the church building. So, he's up and out the door usually. Yeah.
Good. Are you
I'm absolutely in my pajamas.
Okay, well, that is a habit you will need to break when we're able to meet together again as a church. Look, you're one of the Rock leaders, the youth group leaders, and you've been still meeting with the girls through a Zoom meeting. So just to tell us a little bit about what you've been doing and who's that been with.
Yeah, so I guess once we couldn't meet for Rock anymore, we tried to think about ways that we could stay connected with the girls and connect them to one another. And VJ actually got on board, which was lovely because, the kids have been missing her so much since she had little Daniel. So she organised the first Zoom with some of the older kids. So we have a bit of a message group on Facebook with the Year 11 and 12s, and then just catch up for a bit of a Zoom meeting and, have a bit of fun, see what everyone's been up to, share some prayer points and pray together. So that's been really lovely. And then for the younger girls, we've been doing a bit of a Google Hangout. So just catching up with the girls and seeing, how they're feeling about being isolated and what they've been doing with their time. I guess we want to encourage them to use their time wisely. And now I guess we've set up some platforms so that we can continue doing some Bible studies and things online. So this week a newsletter is being sent out so that the kids have a Bible passage and study questions to go through before Friday night. And then on Friday night, the leaders will meet online with the kids in groups. Just to go through the study and, I guess stay connected and see how everyone's going.
How have the girls responded to the meetings that you've had with them?
Yeah, look, I think they've loved just seeing each other. Like, I know some of them have done some, FaceTime or online things with their friends, but it's a really special group with Rock, and I think they've just loved sort of coming together, all kind of going, oh, we're all stuck at home doing the same sort of things, and just, I guess being in the same boat. I think that's been a good encouragement for them, and just coming back together again, I think has been really good.
Well, we're certainly grateful to yourself and to VJ and to others who've been involved in those sort of things with youth group kids. And I know a number of different things have happened like that. One last question. Oh, no, not really a question. Is there anything you'd like to say to the Trinity Church family? You have this opportunity.
Yeah, I guess we just miss everyone so much. I think we just have taken for granted how easy it is to pop by to see people or to just come to church every Sunday. And actually, I think we feel like that is just such a huge privilege. We've really missed that connection. We've missed meeting with people of different generations and, just having that fellowship together. I think Dave and I both, we just are so encouraged by the people in our church. So we just really miss you all and, pray for you often and think of you all. And we just can't wait until the day we're all back together.
Well, I think there'll be a resounding amen amongst lots of people to what you've said. Millie, look, thank you so much for being interviewed. And we do look forward to the time, as you said, when we can all be together again. But for now, we'll say goodbye.
Lovely. Thanks, Ross.